Now, here's a story from probably about 4 years ago when I was first speaking on this. And it was out in Seattle, and the first speaker that morning, she was a VP of communications at Starbucks. And she was telling stories about some recent successes that they've had in PR. And one of the ones she talked about, is it Schultz, their CEO, that had gone, he had been on hiatus for 8 years. And he came back like most CEOs and said, "Oh, you've screwed everything up, and we've forgotten how to make a great cup of coffee." And so one of the things he did is he said, "We've got to train our baristas again how to make a great cup of coffee." Does anybody remember what he did? He closed his stores. Did he just say, over the next 3 months, close your store, everyone, and work on the training? What did he do? He closed them all at once. All 11,000 stores across the country at one time during working hours. And when you're dealing with a product to which people have addictions, they notice, okay? They notice. So what happened was I spoke about 4 hours afterward, and I said, how many of you wrote down the idea about the Starbucks closing? Everybody raised their hand. And I said, how many of you wrote down why it worked to generate publicity? How many hands do you think I got? 0. So everybody's writing down the what, but nobody's writing down the why. And the why is the part that's valuable. So the what would be, oh, Prius is a best-selling car. Well, what are you going to do with that? It's the why that is the connectable piece to this. So why did it create publicity?
It was bold.
It was bold. What was bold about it? Is it Ed? Ed, what was particularly bold about it?
We're saying it's more important to serve a great cup of coffee.
And how did they get that? How did they really drive that importance home? What to a consumer?
They're shutting the stores down to train people.
During working hours.
During working hours.
Okay? So one way to show you're serious is showing the willingness to hurt yourself. And it gets publicity at the same time. I mean, you really believe them after that. The other thing is, they could have just said at some point over the next 3 months, each store choose when you're going to do this. But instead, he did it all at once. So that's the idea of mass coordination. So in other words, instead of just saying doing it anytime, get everybody to do it at one time, and that creates news.